Mars is entering Virgo on the 17th, which is Tuesday, at 4:35 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, Mars represents action, passion, motivation. So you can think of it as your drive. Whenever Mars is changing signs, it's not where our attention is going because that's Mercury. We want to take action in that area of life all of a sudden. And we feel very focused on it in a different way. For context, Mars has been busy, tired in 2025 and slightly beyond. So it spent the last 7 months moving in both direct and retrograde motion between Leo and Cancer. So first entered Cancer last year, then moved into Leo, and then very beginning of January went retrograde. That retrograde process was several months, and then it went in direct. It was still in Cancer, and then it, went out into Leo, and then it's been in Leo for some time as well. So this is going to be the first time it's exiting that whole 7-month storyline. It's a long period of time. It's more than half of a year that it's been going back and forth between these two signs and these two areas of your chart. So just like what happened with Venus earlier this month, for our sake, last week, Venus had entered Taurus after going back and forth for several months between Pisces and Aries because of its retrograde period that happened in March going into April. So we have the same thing happening for Mars, but Mars moves even slower, so the retrograde period is longer. Now, when we're talking about Virgo, this is a very analytical sign. It's organized, it's focused, it's ruled by Mercury. Virgo is known for being very service-oriented, so people-oriented in the sense of it's very active. Despite the fact that it's not Mars-ruled, it wants to do things. It wants to perfect. It wants to self-improve. It wants to fix things. So Virgo is going to want to be giving advice or identifying a problem and making an adjustment to better itself. Therefore, when you have Mars, a planet of action, motivation, moving into a sign that is pretty active and proactive and very organized, then we can expect that we're going to be especially motivated to perfect ourselves. In other words, self-improve, grow, develop in some capacity. So it could be learning a new skill, improving a skill set, fixing something, as in literally fixing things, or metaphorically fixing things, making changes, making adjustments, recalibrating, organizing our space, organizing files that we have, getting our to-do list and action items in order, scheduling our calendar, like you name it. There's so many different things that we could start paying attention to. And the thing to be mindful of is because Virgo by itself wants to do a lot, when you have the planet of action in there, there is a risk of burnout because both of these energies want to do and they want to keep going and doing more. So you'll want to screen for that and make sure that you're not overdoing it and doing too much. Mars is entering Virgo on the 17th of this month, and it's going to be there until August 6th. So we have around 2 months of time where it's going to be in this new sign. So this is the bulk of our summer. It's the beginning of summer, the bulk of our summertime. We're going to have this Mars in Virgo energy. 7 and 8. So for 7th house, this is looking at the committed partnerships, long-term relationships, Eighth house, well, contracts too. Eighth house has to do with death and rebirth. So it's about transformation, finances in the sense of things that you're inheriting or receiving, joint accounts, shared resources in some capacity, mental health as well. So you could be taking action to maybe recommit to a relationship or make decisions around a relationship or start a relationship that is long-term committed. And then as Mars crosses over that house line and goes into your eighth house, you could be taking action towards maybe improving your mental health because this is Virgo. So you're meeting with a therapist or starting new wellness practices. You could be taking a look at your finances, taking action, making decisions. So with the Mars piece, we are wanting to move forward. We're wanting to decide things. And Virgo wants to do that as well, because if the thing that we're deciding is going to make things better for us, make things more efficient, make things be more balanced, more grounded, Virgo's all for it. So those are just a few minor examples. Ooh, 12th house stellium. So Lolo, you have a lot of activity there and what you'll want to pay attention to, and you can do this on AstroSeek. They have a transit tool, and you can look up the exact degree points of your placements in that 12th house and mark the days down. So you can give yourself just the frame of reference that, oh, it's going to be going over my Jupiter on this day. And then you're blending those energies together, and you can either use them intentionally to harness them or just look back in retrospect and see how did that translate for you. So that's kind of a fun activity to see how these conjunctions pan out over time. You can have a good sample size over the next 2 months and looking for some patterns. But ultimately, if you're talking about Virgo in the 12th house, the stellium as the add-on, taking action in self-improvement with regards to your soul work. This is soul searching. Having a stellium there, it should be no stranger to you to be very introspective, to want to grow and improve in different ways. But this is about understanding your self-undoing, weak spots, how you self-sabotage. It also could mean you're taking more action in a more private way, in isolation, by yourself, things that you are working on, you're growing maybe more in private. And then as it moves into the next sign of Libra, it becomes more visible, the things that you've been working on. Fourth house for Tanya. Fourth house is going to be looking at family and home. You could be taking action to improve your house. It could be redecorating, making changes, buying things, etc., or getting a new home, moving to a new home, upgrading in some capacity. It also could relate to your family, specifically parents, caretakers, taking action to improve their situation, improve your relationship with them. Lots of options. Ninth and 10th house. Ninth house is looking at long distance travel, learning, philosophy, teaching, spirituality, etc. You could be delving into these topics. You could be going on a trip or planning a trip. So you're getting the ball rolling. You're taking action to have that trip, or signing up for a course, or signing up to do something where you will be self-improving, growing, expanding your knowledge base, pushing yourself out of your comfort zone maybe. And then as it transitions into the 10th house, it's taking action in your career and being more public. So maybe you're bringing in some of the things that you've learned and you are presenting it. You are making it part of your brand, or you're taking some big swings at work. You're launching a new project. You are having that conversation that's very direct with your manager or supervisor. So you could be making bigger adjustments to put yourself out there in the public eye. Okay, Carrie, glad it resonates. Amy, booked a trip last week out of the blue. There you go. You were gearing up. You were getting ready for it. Is the trip falling in this 2-month period or is it after? I'd be curious to know. Gina, fifth house. Fifth house is looking at creativity, play, pleasure, anything that brings you joy. Same thing will apply, Stephanie, for the second half. And also children as well. So if you're taking action, you could be saying, I want to focus on having more fun because I know it's going to help me grow as a person. I want to tap into creative outlets. I want to pick up a new hobby. I want to revisit that old one and get back to it. But really feeling motivated and passionate about self-expression. The fifth house also includes dating. So it's not the seventh house committed partnerships, but it kind of ties with the pleasure, it being casual, kind of having fun, putting yourself out there a little bit. And then, yeah, so Stephanie, same thing for you. And then fourth house, which was the family piece, what I mentioned for Tanya before. No, for November for my birthday. Yeah, Gina, I need that. Exactly. It just, if you already know that you need it, it means like it's going to feel very welcomed. And the idea is that maybe you've been walking around saying to yourself, oh, I need more fun. I need more play. I need more joy, creativity, etc. I need to spend more time with my kids or kids in my community or connecting to my youth or healing my inner child or name that tune for you. All of a sudden it's like the light turns on, the flame turns on, and you're ready to really do that and dive in. And you have 2 whole months to be especially motivated. It doesn't mean that it'll stop after that. You could then build a habit over the course of 2 months and then keep it going, but it gives you that spark and that push. Yeah, so Amy, I wonder if you'll be doing more planning or learning in preparation for that trip. I guess it probably depends on where you're going, but you could be researching the place that you are visiting because it's still, that ninth house piece.